Hello everyone, this is a content warning. The song that I'm reacting to in this video contains graphic depictions of domestic abuse and sexual assault. If this is something that you're sensitive to, please take care of yourself and do not watch this video. Thanks. Hello everyone and welcome to Humanist Reacts. So the long-awaited reaction, we are going to be reacting to yet another song by Ren. This one, I've been looking forward to this one for a while. This is going to be the Tale of Jenny and Screech. This one is the full version. That probably means something to those of you who are fans of Ren. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's 13 minutes long, so I'm guessing that, as I understand it, it's like a trilogy or something. It's like a few different songs kind of put together, but whatever. It's Ren, so I'm excited and I'm ready to go. So let's get into it.
It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny walked alone, she was dragging her feet. She was heading back home to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, because she walked it about 1,000 times before. She wanted to escape. Can you blame? Well, on the very same night, in a different place, there walked this hooded young youth by the name of James. He was 14 years old and out of his brain. He'd been smoking ganja with the boys. James, he grew up to be a kid of the street. His mates called him Screech. He was quick on his feet. He was a liar, a thief. At 14 years old, the devil had set his sights on his soul. As Jenny walked home all alone, she felt scared. Usually she was alright, but it was like there was something in the air. A divine intervention telling her to beware. Maybe intuition bugging her and making her so scared. Sirens sounded in the distance at the beat of Jenny's feet. A symphony of the night that echoes crime on London streets. Jenny turns a corner, their eyes they meet. Up or go Jenny, a boy named Screech. Give me all your money, bitch, give it to me. If you cooperate, then you'll soon be free. I want your purse, your phone, don't fucking look at me. I mean it, bitch, are you listening to me? Jenny freezes statue like a lady shakes stalactite. Feel like liquid nitrogen in the dark night. She tried to find strength to move, but stayed as still as a statue in high-heeled shoes. What the hell you playing at? You playing games with me? I swear to fucking God, I'll slice the rosy off your cheeks. You think I don't mean it, girl? You don't know me. The last thing you see will be a boy code. Screech reached with the sheath of the blade, with the teeth that could bite through steel and slice concrete, and he swung possessed with the devil in his chest, and the statue she was turned to butter in her breath.
Hey, Ren's storytelling is really on display in this song. I let that go for a lot longer than I normally do, because I kept being like, wait, I don't want to stop it here. I don't want to stop it here. Um, I mean, there's no analysis needed of this because it's very clear. It's terrific storytelling. It's amazing storytelling. So I don't need to analyze it. it's on display. Um, the way he switches character voices, and he did this in High Ren as well, very obviously, um, but but it feels different here than it did there. Um, okay, this is gonna sound really weird. When he's doing there's bits of the song when he's rapping that his his flow is Nate Dogg's from Regulators. I know some of you who are fans of Ren are not like old school hip hop heads or even hip hop heads at all, but classic hip hop track Regulators um, by Nate Dogg and Warren G. That's the flow he's using in parts of this, which works. I mean, there's some great parallels there because that's also a storytelling song. It just jumped out to me, and I'm not accusing him of like biting that style or anything. It's a very it's a very common flow, but it just jumped out to me for some reason. Um, that story also it kind of takes place at night, and it's sort of a has a similar feeling too. So it's it's working really well. But um, yeah, I don't know what that statue turns to butter. I don't know what that line meant. That might be some that might be some British slang or something that I'm not familiar with. But either way, whatever it was, it's working. I want to get back to the song. Back to the song.
It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny lay still on the cold concrete. She's found somewhere to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, 'cause she'd walked it about 1,000 times before. I guess that she escaped. It's such a shame.
It's okay. I think I see now. Okay, I've heard some of these things before. So this is Jenny. So this is a trilogy. I'm starting to put pieces together. Um, I know I've seen people mention in the comments they'll say like Jenny, and I think they say Violet, Jenny and Screech, and Violet, right? Or is Violet a different song entirely? Or were they recommending that I go listen to the song Violet, which I'm pretty sure I've seen thumbnails of him like sitting in a hospital bed, um, and a song Violet or something like that. Also, his vocals, they're so that when he did that the sort of vocal lilt when he said shit aim uh so tight and like pulled back, um very restrained and and forceful. I don't know how exactly to put it, but there was something about the way that he did that. And once again, this is clearly mic'd and being done live as he walks down this street. Um, I don't give enough credit to uh, to the people who shoot these videos sometimes, but just doing this is one long shot, uh, pulling back. So there's the talent of Ren performing it in one long shot as he walks down the street, right? But also the person filming this one long shot pulling back the whole time as he's walking down the street. Um, it's fantastic. And like you can hear, the way that this is mic'd, like you can hear his starter jacket sort of like rubbing up against itself when he was doing a little bit of tremolo there on the guitar on that last note. This guy's special. This guy's special. No, anyway, all right, next. Screech. I see it on the thing at the bottom. Okay, so Jenny and Screech got this mod. Got that much. So I need to know if Rin is classically trained on guitar. Um, it's, a lot of the things he does are very classically inspired, and there are sort of those savants out there who just can kind of play those sort of songs in their head and then pick them out on an instrument. And sometimes it feels like that's what's happening with Ren. Like maybe he's just spent a lot of time with the fretboard and he just knows where he needs to go to get the sound that he wants. But there's definitely some classically inspired riffs. Yeah, but there's definitely some classically inspired riffs here, and I just have to wonder if that comes from some kind of training that he's had. Anyway, see, like that whole run there as an intro, like that's clearly classically inspired. It's fantastic.
Our story, it starts
Ooh,
right at the end
bum,
of
bum.
the life of poor Jenny, clocked out like Big Ben. This Screech, dear boy, where did he go? He melted into the black night just like snow.
What was that? Like snow. That what an interesting composition. One thing I love about Screech, I was about to call him Screech. One thing I love about Ren musically is he is not at all afraid to play with forms. Um, so many musical artists and it's not really even their fault necessarily, but you know, we all get sort of musical motifs, almost like memes in our head over the years that we play with and that we adhere to without realizing it. Um, and so a lot of that's how a lot of music ends up sounding all sort of samey. Um, and there will be differences here and there, but for the most part, it sounds like there's nothing surprising in it. And I'm talking about Western popular music here. Obviously, I don't have a background um, in world music of any kind, and I'm not really qualified to speak on any of that. So I'm specifically talking about um, Eurocentric Western music for the most part here. But Ren is very open to, and this is one of the things that makes me think he's not classically trained, uh, is because classically trained artists generally will still end up meeting that sort of formulaic approach to things. Um, so he has sort of an outsider feel to him, and he's not afraid to play with things. That vocal run there was wonderful. That was so good. Anyway, all right.
Patrick, man, let me
Mm.
in, please open the door. I think I fucked up Patrick,
Oh,
really fucked up,
knocking
man,
on the
I'm
door.
not
That was
sure.
great.
I got crazy, left this lady lying still on the floor. I think I killed her, Patrick, come on, man, I can't knock no more. But Screech kept on knocking till his knuckles became sore. But there's no sign of Patrick down at number 54. No refuge for our villain, for the bitter hands of fate, with something far more sinister in mind that does away.
His acting, the way that he suddenly switched, and suddenly he's a scared boy who's just done something wrong, where a second ago he was sort of confident storyteller, musical artist.
Hey, babe, you in? Now, nothing really. I'm just a bit tired. Listen, can I swing around yours for a few moments? I just really miss you, babe. What the fuck do you mean you're busy? You fucking bitch! For fuck's sakes! Siren sounds approaching like a banshee in the night. The shrill cry of justice cutting like the sharpest knife. But Screech was never one to run, not one to miss a fight. One hand upon his blade, he turned to face the blue lights. Come on then, you fucking cunts, let's fucking have you then. I am Screech, I'm the boss, I'm the ender of men. You think that uniform you're wearing means that you own these streets? These are my fucking streets, and they call me fucking Screech. Richard was an officer who stood at 6'3", working London on the night shift. What he didn't think he'd see was a boy running at him like an animal possessed. With no time to hesitate, he fired 4 bullets at Screech's chest.
Okay, storytelling's on 10.
Our story, it ends right at the start. Young Screech and poor Jenny lying one street apart. An officer shaken by the boy that he claimed. Two bodies lay lifeless, and it's such a shame. It's such a shame.
So I picked up. Okay, and this next one says Violet. So all right, so I was right. Violet was part of the trilogy. The way he switched into the Screech character, in and out of the Screech character, there, um, and the sort of embodiment of that character as he was screaming at the cops, like although a bit more um, poetic than it would have probably been if he'd actually been on the street. The sudden anger and sort of false bravado that Screech was sort of projecting there in his last moments felt very genuine to me. That felt very real. Um, just from just from my experience, I've felt that bravado before. That you know, that utter terror transformed into anger and rage, and you puff your something very primal. You puff yourself up and just try and make yourself as frightening as possible. Um, you know, these are my streets, that sort of thing. Storytelling. That's that's gonna be the cover image for this one. Storytelling. It's on 10. That's your Violet. Oh, is Violet like an ER worker or something? Um, oh, okay, right, yeah. Okay. This is like this is sort of medieval uh, kind of melody here that he's picking out. Very interesting. This is something that's supposed to be played on like a lute or a lyre. Um, okay. Anyway, he has so many different styles that he weaves into his music. It's um, it's damn impressive. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about guitar because I know this is not a guitar channel, and I am not a guitar expert. Y'all are not here to hear me break down how what he's doing on guitar, but um, the use of his right hand to pinch and flip that top string in order to add the extra depth to that low E note um, is, to me, inspired. I'm sure other people have done that before. It's probably very common amongst people who know a certain depth of, of musicality on the guitar. I've never seen that before. Um, and it's brilliant. It gives a whole another feel to that note. It makes it feel more sonorous. Okay.
London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. Rhythmic beeps and bloodstains, she saw a lady weep, she's tired and frail. To set the scene, we must rewind the hands of time for Violet's tale.
What? He just used that. He just used that progression to emulate rewinding. That's that.
Violet was a silent girl, grew up with violent starts. Her mother was a drinker and her father was a bastard. Every night he took a tie but never left the room. I'll spare you of the things he did, I'm sure her mother knew. Violet was a silent girl, she moved out at 16. A semi-detached council flat, paid for by a welfare scheme. Packing shelves at Tesco, stacking jars like pickled bricks. She met a boy named Stevie and he was a little prick. Violet.
They're always little pricks. Boys are the worst. Women out there, women and girls, and or anyone. It's men and boys. Anyone who has to deal with little boys and relationships in any way. They're little pricks. All of them. Present company included. Better off just staying away.
Was a silent girl and Violet, she fell fast. See See, Stevie was wrong and that he sure knew how to charm her. Every night he
Mm-hmm.
took her tight but never left the
Yeah,
room.
but he didn't.
History repeats itself, he paint her black and blue and dark.
Usually stories like this would make me sad. Not sure what it is right now. Right now, I'm feeling very angry, and I know. Don't tell me about it. I know. I know that this is just a fictional character, a story that was made up.
She never stood a chance. The devil comes to dance. Violet, why are you always so quiet? On her bedroom door and he's irate. He's been drinking and smoking, he's up late. And he stands by her bedside, she shakes, but her eyes stay shut. You fucking slut, I know you're up. And he pinches her eyelids and folds them up. Violet, why are you lying to me, Violet? She stays silent, things turn violent. That's the sound of his fists when they fall like a crashing pilot. Hit like hailstones, one to the collarbone, full force, full blown, blood's...
Okay, I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to talk about his musicality again here. Uh, his use of the guitar, his use of his instrument for the purposes of onomatopoeia is so creative and so good. He did it with rewinding, he did it with knocking on a door earlier, he did it with gunshots, um, he just did it for throwing punches. Um, he's all over the place here, and he's using every tool at his disposal in the most creative ways possible to make sure that this story is being told in a captivating way. And it works. The visual storytelling is incredible as well. The way that he matched his words to his actions in a gorgeous way and disgusting. When he talked about pinching her eyelids and pulling them upward, and then he leaned in very close to the camera and stared at it. And the camera kind of went a little bit like the autofocus took care of the sort of um, serving as an analog for Violet's eyes looking at her abuser, um, sort of half awake and half blearily and trying to focus as he got in her face and spoke to her. I guess I want to make it clear when I'm listening to this. I, this kind of storytelling needs to be more than voyeurism for us. We need to treat this the way it deserves to be treated, as a call for action and for help. Because while this is just a story here, and in theory, as far as I know, these characters are fictional, the story is also very real for a lot of people. Um, and I'm not discounting that this happens to men as well. When I say this, it does happen to men also. I'm not discounting that. Um, Generally, this is something that's happening to women and female presenting people. Um, I don't think we as a society talk about how often this happens to people in the trans community, because so many of us are so transphobic, and trans erasure is such a thing that I think a lot of people will see a trans woman and they will think to themselves that that was violence against a man. And I hate even saying those words out loud, because that's giving some kind of weight to those thoughts. But this, we as a society tend to visit this kind of violence more on anyone who presents as female. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who will give you lots of scholarly reasons why, based on biology, evolution, social hierarchy, um, culture, and masculinity. I mean, honestly, it probably mostly goes back to the patriarchy. Sorry. A lot of people don't like hearing that, don't like to pretend that that's not a thing, but it is. But whatever the cause is, you can't look away, or at the very least, if you're not going to look away, then don't be a creep and just watch it for fun. This is not just a fun story. This is a reality for a lot of individuals. Off my soapbox.
Black bone crack, knick knack, paddy whack. One to the jaw and the tooth spat. Detached fist connects and disconnects a bone. A quick deflect to misdirect the blow, but nonetheless his punches met her throat. Such a mess he's left her bruised and broke. Violet, why you always so silent, Violet? Why you such a little liar, Violet? Do you think I want to do this, Violet? In character, she stays silent. Well, say something, Violet. Silence. Fucking say something, Violet. Silence. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Say something, Violet.
Yeah.
Not one word. She stays quiet.
So I think maybe that was us fast forwarding back to the hospital based on the way that he used the inverse um, of that riff, that scale um, earlier to rewind. He's now doing the opposite. I'm guessing that that's him fast forwarding us back to present day with her in the hospital.
London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. The doctor, in a state of shock, saw something here so very wrong. See, Violet, she was pregnant. Poor Violet, she was 9 months gone. Turning to the doctor, Violet broke her silence and she cried, if I'm to die right here tonight, please let my baby stay alive. The doctor soon regained composure, called the surgeon to come in. As Violet's world turned to black, the curtains closed, the lights went dim. In London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington just lost the fight to stay alive. A tragedy or a miracle, it happened on these very streets. Two twins are lying side by side. A girl named Jenny and a boy named Screech.
So if I understand the story correctly, Jenny and Screech were twins, born to Violet, born to violence. Wordplay here is very on point. I'm guessing they were separated and grew up not really knowing each other. Um, and then they bump into each other. Screech tries to rob Jenny, having no idea who she is. Jenny fights back. Screech kills her. Screech tries to run away. The cops find him and kill him. Born as twins, died on the same night. Born of male violence. Died of male violence. Listen, I know this is not something everybody wants to hear, all of my talk of, the patriarchy, male violence, and all that. Sorry, it's what the story's about. Don't get mad at me. It's Ren's story. Ren is such a master storyteller. Uh, an incredible musician, an artist, and performer. I know I've seen a couple of videos that I've just seen like thumbnails and titles for. So I've gotten the impression, or I've kind of picked up that Ren spent a lot of time busking. Um, that's definitely on display here as well. And the person who shot these videos is fantastic as well. I don't know if it's the same person who shot all of these videos, the high ren and chalk outlines and this one, um, but whoever's done them, they're all just wonderful. Ugh. This one's a lot heavier. It's funny. I think for a lot of people, high ren is the heavy one, but I guess for me, that's just that one's just existentialism, and that one hits close to home for me because that's who I am. Constant existential dread and neuroses. So that's just inside my head all the time. This one feels more heavy to me. Because at least what's inside of my head, I have the illusion of control. This one's about exterior things that I just don't have much control over. And they make me very upset. I'm going to have to find some kind of domestic abuse charity or something to link um, in this video because it's what this all really boils down to. And I would feel like I was wasting the emotions that Ren inspired in me if I didn't do anything else with them other than sit here and feel bad about it. So, I don't know who it's going to be yet. I doubt there's going to be very many people. Well, I know there'll be a few of you watching this video. There's at least a few of you out there who really love watching reactions to Ren and appear to enjoy my reactions to Ren's content. Um, whatever charity it is, I'll try and vet them as much as possible, and maybe you'll consider clicking on the link in the description and then giving something. Till next time, y'all take care.